One day you will die. Your body will turn to dust. Your achievements will be forgotten. All that will remain of you is a story, a ghost, an echo in the minds of others. You call this your reputation, your legacy. You have been told to be yourself, and that story will write itself. Niccolò Machiavelli, a man who understood how history is made, would tell you that is a fool's hope. Legends are not born. They are built, and today we are going to give you the blueprint. You strive to be a good person. You are honest. You are authentic. You show your vulnerabilities, your doubts, your fears. You believe that by showing the real you, people will see your true worth and respect you for it. But they don't. You are misunderstood. You are overlooked. Your authenticity is mistaken for weakness. You see others, often less talented and less virtuous than you, who seem to have a magnetic aura. Their name carries weight. Their story precedes them. They are remembered while you are forgotten. You are left wondering, what am I doing wrong? Why doesn't my true self matter? Because your true self is irrelevant. Machiavelli's most brutal and liberating discovery was this: the world does not reward the real you. The world rewards the strategic you. People do not remember who you are. Remember the story you tell them about who you are. Your reputation is more real than your reality. Today, we are going to deconstruct the naive cult of authenticity. This is not a guide to becoming a fake, manipulative liar. It is a guide to becoming a master artist of your own public image. This is Machiavelli's forbidden guide to forging a legend. To understand the art of building a legend, you must first accept a fundamental law of human psychology. People are lazy. Their minds are wired for shortcuts. They do not have the time or the inclination to conduct a deep, nuanced analysis of your true character. Instead, they create a simple, easy-to-digest story about you in their minds. A caricature. He is the reliable one. She is the creative one. He is the dangerous one. This story, this caricature, becomes your reputation. And once it is set, it is almost impossible to change. The naive person lets the story be written by accident, by the whims and judgments of others. They are a passive character in their own legend. The strategist, the Machiavellian prince, understands that his most important work is to seize control of this narrative. He does not let others write his story. He writes it himself, and he makes them believe it was their own idea. This is the art of reputation management. It is built on 3 pillars. The first law is the law of strategic authenticity. This sounds like a contradiction, but it is the key. The modern cult of authenticity tells you to show everything, to let it all hang out, to share your every doubt, fear, and weakness. This is strategic suicide. A man without a reputation is already dead. Machiavelli would say, he just doesn't know it yet. When you overshare, you are not seen as authentic. You are seen as weak, insecure, and lacking in self-control. You are handing your enemies the very weapons they will use to destroy you. Strategic authenticity is different. It is not about being fake. It is about being selective. It is the art of revealing only the parts of yourself that serve your long-term goals. You are a sculptor. Your true self is a giant, messy block of marble. You do not show the world the block. You show them the finished statue. You carefully chip away the parts that are irrelevant, that are weak, that do not serve the story you are trying to tell. Think of history. Alexander the Great conquered half the known world, not just with strategy, but with myth. He spread stories that he was invincible, a demigod. His enemies believed it before the battle even began. He was not being inauthentic. He was crafting a reputation that served his purpose. Look at modern times. Steve Jobs didn't just build Apple. He built an aura, the reality distortion field. He carefully cultivated an image of a brilliant, ruthless, visionary genius. Was this the real Steve Jobs, with all his doubts and flaws? No, it was the strategic Steve Jobs, and that is the one history remembers. You must do the same. Want to be seen as competent? Never whine about problems. Only present solutions. Want to be seen as valuable? Don't always be available. Scarcity creates worth. Want to be seen as powerful? Never explain your decisions to people who cannot affect your life. This is not being fake. It is being the master editor of your own story. You are revealing your truth, but you are revealing it on your own terms. The second law is the law of narrative consolidation. A weak reputation is complex and contradictory. One day you are seen as kind, and next as harsh. One day you are brilliant, the next you are sloppy. This inconsistency makes you forgettable. It makes you human. And humanity is rarely the stuff of legends. A powerful reputation, a legend, is always built on a single, powerful, and easily digestible idea. You must become a symbol. Think of the great figures. What is the one word that comes to mind? For Napoleon, it is ambition. For Einstein, it is genius. For Mother Teresa, it is compassion. Their real, complex, and often contradictory personalities have been flattened, consolidated into a single, powerful brand. This was not always an accident. It was often the result of a lifetime of deliberate, strategic action. They understood that to be remembered, you must be reducible to a single, powerful story. Your task is to choose your story. What is the one quality, the one virtue, the one power you want to be known for? Is it integrity? Is it creativity? Is it unbreakable resilience? You cannot be everything to everyone. You must choose your core attribute. This will become the central theme of your legend. Every action you take, every word you speak, must be a reinforcement of this central theme. Let's say you choose integrity. This now becomes your guiding principle. You must be seen, again and again, acting with unshakable integrity, especially when it is difficult. You turn down the profitable but ethically questionable deal. You speak the uncomfortable truth in a meeting, even when it costs you. You take the blame for a team's failure, even if it wasn't entirely your fault. You are not just acting with integrity. You are performing integrity. You are creating a series of unforgettable scenes for the movie of your life, with integrity as the central theme. Machiavelli himself is a perfect example. He was a complex man, a patriot, a poet. But what is his legend? He has been consolidated into a single powerful idea: ruthless realism. Every story we remember about him reinforces this brand. Why? Because that was the most powerful, most dangerous, and most memorable part of his work. The legend is always a simplification. Your job is to choose the simplification. If you don't, the world will choose one for you, and it is rarely the one you would have wanted. This requires immense discipline. It means saying no to things that, while good, do not serve your central narrative. The man building a legend of unbreakable resilience cannot be seen complaining about minor setbacks. The woman building a legend of creative genius cannot be seen spending all her time on administrative tasks. You must protect your legend as fiercely as a king protects his crown, because in the court of history, your legend is your crown. It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles. Niccolò Machiavelli. The third and most paradoxical law is the law of enemy management. You have been taught to avoid enemies, to be liked by everyone. This is a recipe for a weak and forgettable reputation. A man who is loved by everyone stands for nothing. Machiavelli knew that your enemies are often more important in building your legend than your friends. Your friends' praise is expected and often dismissed as biased. But the quality and the nature of your enemies, it tells the world who you are. Having powerful, respected enemies is a sign that you are a force to be reckoned with. It signals that you are a threat to the status quo, that your ideas are so potent, they must be attacked. The weak man is afraid of his enemies. The strategist cultivates them. He understands that a public battle with a worthy opponent is the greatest stage in the world. It is an opportunity to demonstrate his strength, his cunning, and his resilience. Look at history's great rivalries: Tesla and Edison, Ali and Fraser, Apple and Microsoft. These conflicts did not diminish them. They defined them. They created a drama, a narrative that captivated the world. Their enemies forced them to be sharper, more innovative, and more relentless. You must learn to see your enemies not as a curse, but as a strategic asset. When you are attacked by someone of low status, a troll, a petty gossip, you must ignore them completely. To engage with them is to lower yourself to their level. It tarnishes your reputation. But when you are attacked by a powerful, respected rival, you must engage. But you must engage with skill and precision. You do not get emotional. You do not sling mud. You use their attack as an opportunity to demonstrate your superior intellect, your unshakable calm, your commitment to your principles. Furthermore, you must choose your enemies as carefully as you choose your friends. An alliance with a weak and foolish person can damage your reputation, but a conflict with a strong and respected one can elevate it. It is a strange and brutal calculus. The world judges you by the quality of those who stand against you. If your enemies are petty and weak, you will be seen as the same. But if your enemies are powerful and formidable, you will be seen as their equal, even in defeat, and especially in victory. Do not fear the hatred of strong men. Fear the indifference of everyone. So you see the forbidden architecture of a legend, the strategic authenticity that reveals only what serves your goal, the narrative consolidation that turns you into a powerful symbol, and the enemy management that uses conflict to build your status. You do not have a reputation. You are your reputation. The story people tell about you is more real and more powerful than the complex, messy, and contradictory real you. Your true self is a private matter. Your reputation is a public weapon. And you have been showing up to a war, armed with your diary, wondering why you keep getting shot. The great work of your life is not to find yourself. It is to build yourself, to become the conscious, deliberate, and masterful artist of your own unforgettable legend. So how do you begin this great work? How do you stop being a footnote in your own life and start becoming the author of your own legend? This is not about a sudden, dramatic rebranding. It is about a series of small, deliberate, daily choices that over a lifetime accumulate into a monument. First, define your central theme. You cannot build a legend by accident. You must be an architect. For the next week, your only task is to sit in silence and answer one question. For what one quality do I want to be remembered? It cannot be a list. It must be one single powerful word. Courage, wisdom, integrity, creativity, unbreakable will. This is the most important decision you will ever make. This word is not just a brand. It is your North Star. It is the title of the book of your life. Write it down. Put it on your wall. Burn it into your mind. Second, practice legend-conscious action. Now that you have your theme, you must begin to live it, consciously, deliberately. Before every major decision, every public action, every written word, you must now ask a new question. Is this action consistent with the legend I'm trying to build? This question is a ruthless filter. It will force you to say no to 1,000 trivialities. It will compel you to act with a new level of integrity and intention. The man whose theme is courage can no longer remain silent in the face of injustice. The woman whose theme is wisdom can no longer engage in petty gossip. You are no longer just acting. You are casting a vote for the person you want to become in the eyes of history. And every action is a chisel, sculpting your own monument. Third, curate your own myth. You must become the first and most important biographer of your own life. This is not about lying. It is about storytelling. Learn to tell the stories of your life, your successes, but especially your failures, in a way that reinforces your central theme. Did you fail in a business venture? The weak man calls this a failure. The strategist, whose theme is resilience, frames it as a brutal but necessary lesson that forged his future success. Did you get your heart broken? The weak man calls this a tragedy. The strategist, whose theme is wisdom, frames it as the painful initiation that taught him the true nature of love. You are not changing the facts. You are changing the meaning. You are taking the messy, chaotic data of your life and weaving it into a powerful, coherent, and unforgettable narrative. You are not just living. You are building your own myth. You have been given the forbidden's blueprint to immortality. Not the immortality of the body, but the immortality of a name. An echo that lingers long after you're gone. You now understand that your reputation is not an accident. It is a creation, an act of will, a work of art. You see that the naive cult of just be yourself is a recipe for being forgotten, and that the true path to a lasting legacy is the path of the conscious, strategic, and ruthless artist of the self. What you do with this knowledge will define how you are remembered, or if you are remembered at all. You can continue to be a complex, contradictory, and ultimately forgettable human being, a ghost in your own story, your legend written by the lazy judgments of others. Or you can become an architect, a sculptor, a prince of your own perception. You can accept the brutal, beautiful responsibility of forging your own legend, of building a story so powerful, so clear, so true to your highest ideal that it will outlive you. This is the final, unspoken lesson of Machiavelli. The ultimate power is not in seizing a kingdom. It is in becoming a name that history cannot erase. Your life is a block of marble. The world will give you 1,000 cheap tools to carve it with. But the master uses only one, his will. If this message has resonated with you, if you are tired of being a footnote and ready to start writing your own epic, then make your declaration. Join the men and women who are choosing to build a legacy. Go to the comments and declare your great work. Write, "I am the sculptor." It is a declaration of your new power, a commitment to becoming the artist of your own immortal story. Subscribe to the Thinker's Codex. Your legend begins now.